Welcome back to Jacqueline Arts. Today I'm going to go through my process of making a DIY magnet board with special Scrabble magnet pieces. Here I've got Bananagrams, which is a very similar Scrabble game, except the pieces are plastic. Scrabble's a serious game. Bananagrams, not so much. So first you want to start off by counting out how many pieces you want. I wanted 75 because that's how many magnets I had. And then you want to use E6000 and put the glue on the back of the pieces, which is kind of hard because, as you see, it comes out, it has gas farts sometimes, and it gets on your finger. And it's scary because you think, it says on the warning label, don't cut in contact with skin. It's the last thing you want is your finger falling off because of a craft with E6000. All of these supplies can be gotten at Walmart, the magnets and E6000 in the craft section, and Scrabble or Bananagrams in the game section. And I was using the tube of gum right there to hold up my E6000 because I was letting the air bubbles come out because otherwise it was just bubbling over and getting everywhere. So as you go on, it gets easier and easier to control the glue and to put the magnets on. And it's very important that when you place the magnets to dry, that you're putting them enough space away from each other because the magnets will attract to each other and slowly, ever so slowly, move out of the position that you want them. And you'll see that a little bit later. There's one piece in the middle that's just like all wackadoodle, but it's really easy before it's dry just to fix them and make sure they're all good. So here you see, if you look very closely in the middle, you will see a piece that is just wackadoodle with a magnet almost coming off. But as I come around, I see it and I fix it and everything is great again. And an easy, it's kind of fun way to just pick these up. You just put them over each other and they stick. But sometimes they don't because the magnet, positive, negative poles and all that kind of stuff. Back to 5th grade science. And in the end, these turn out really cute and easy to store with a little baggie because they just stick to each other and it's kind of fun. Next, I went to making the magnet board, which is what you need is a small sheet of galvanized steel, which is really thin. I found this at Lowe's. I went and typed in galvanized steel in their website, and it just pops up, and it brings me to what aisle it will be on in my local store, which is really helpful because I don't know where anything is in a hardware store. And I use these snips that I found in my dad's tool shed. They're just spring loaded and they're like scissors, but a little bit more industrial. So I mean, if you have, a working man in your life, it's easy to find one. But they do hurt your hands because, as I see, I have no muscles. So I mean, that just might be me personally. I also did another one of these. I made this for my mother for Christmas, and when I was cutting it, it was perfectly fine. But now it got harder. I must have ate too many sweets over the holidays. Just a little coaxing, you can get a good size. I did 11 by 14 to be able to fit into the frame that I have sitting behind me. See it on the bench behind me, and it should fit just perfectly. Good thing to make sure all the edges aren't sharp. And it's a good light piece of steel, so it's not too heavy in the frame. And then because it's light, I just use tape to stick it. On my mother's, I had done nails that I nailed into the back to stick it, but I was being kind of lazy and it was really cold outside, and so I didn't want to go outside and find nails and hammers and nail it in. So I used tape, which it works pretty well. It's a little bit less permanent, which I kind of like because I'm always changing my mind with things. But it works well for, a dorm room, which is where I'm going to bring it, and I hope to show y'all when it's there because I'm redoing a back wall in my dorm room because I like to do that, and I have a pretty nice blank canvas to work with. And here it is all together, and then I put on a piece of cardboard. I just tack it on with some tape in the corners and wherever it's loose just to finish it off and to make it a little bit more sturdier, because if you do press the magnets, you'll see that it kind of bends. And these magnets have a nice hardy stick to the steel. It's not a light stick at all, but it is important to hang the frame, I would suggest, with a sticky kind of hanging thing like a command strip, because a nail, it slides back and forth. This was just a temporary thing. But as you can see with the letters, it is easy to do whatever you want and move it around and have lots of fun. I hope this inspires someone else to be crafty. I was personally inspired by Karen Cabot's Scrabble magnet pieces and Martha Stewart's magnet board tutorial. I'll put both the videos in the links below. Please check them out and be crafty, everyone. See you next week. Bye!